Okay, so Bot Rick's joined the channel, so that's the one for restream, so that's a good sign. Okay, it should be live on YouTube again now. Thanks for letting me know it was offline. I think whenever I had that internet hiccup, it kicked YouTube and then it didn't reconnect it. But we're back on now. I was never off, to be honest. I just very briefly DC'd. Okay, yeah, so anyways, we were talking about rotation, and we got DC'd. We do have to cover the new one. I actually kind of need to learn it. I haven't... really, taken the time yet. Is this... Okay, yeah, so this is single target. That's right, we're back, but we never left. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so we need this one. Verse 2K SP swap. This is the new one. The newest cook. Fresh out the oven. Right here. Let's copy all this. Hot French bread. We are going to use the overrides. I don't know if the overrides are needed anymore. Actually, let's test it without the overrides. Maybe they already added the overrides. That was yesterday. We'll do it without overrides. See how it pans out here. 5 minutes, patchwork. Yeah, all of this is normal. Let me just check the APL. Yes, this is correct. Okay, let's see it. I want to save these overrides just in case I need them later. Should be like 1.28 if... Okay, so they actually don't have the overrides in yet. We need to fix that. So yeah, let's go back in. Dude, yesterday people were telling me like, oh, you probably don't need to worry about doing the overrides because you can just wait because they're going to update it. Well, turns out it's not up to date. You do have to use the overrides. Okay, and then also we need to change the stats. So the stats I actually fucked with a little bit, and I want to make this match what my current gear is on live. So I can get a good idea of what I should be doing here, but... I believe... Was this one the one I ran? Yeah, this is the one. I'm just going to copy the stats from this one. This is my AoE sim, by the way. This is how I figured out the stats. I used a script that, or like a... It's almost like a script, but like a spreadsheet Porum sent me to suss this out. But I went ahead and did my own little cook on top for this verse one. Oh, apparently Spectrum is down. Wait, I think that might have been my internet too. Hold on 1 second. I'm getting text from everyone. And there's someone at my door right now. Dude, what's going on today? uh, coming back to WoW and seeing it's DC me again. Nothing fills my heart with more joy. Yeah, so there was someone at my door who was like, "Hey, I accidentally opened your package. Here it is." Okay, cool. Thanks. uh, okay, so the setup I want to run is this one right here. So I'm just going to grab it real quick. I am going to rerun the sim though. I want to do it with a longer time period. So we're going to copy this. Let's go back. Because it was in the mailroom and their number is very similar to our mail number, so like all of it's in the same room. It's an honest mistake. I could see it happening to me. I did ask him though. I said, "Hey, wait, are you 60? Well, I'm not gonna say it, but are you, whatever the number is on the other side?" And he was like, "No." And he told me his room number, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, we're going with this one. Overriding these. Just gonna override all of them. Okay, and we're just doing the one sim. Wait, did I do the override? Yes, I did. Okay. Whew. All right, let's let this thing run. I'm gonna try to not disconnect whenever I play again, but until then, I'm just gonna let this thing run. It's gonna be really quick, really fast sim. He seemed trustworthy. I'm not sussed out by the guy. He seemed trustworthy. He had a dog. Trustworthy man with dog. He also had a mustache, and I have a mustache, so all I'm saying is I trust him. You gotta trust the mustache homies, you know? Okay, so yeah, this does... Okay, it's using Corrupting Rage, which is weird, but let's just ignore that. Gotta trust the stash. I don't have one. That's right. Could have stolen the dog. Dude. Dude, that's actually really big brain. Okay, step 1, steal dog. Step 2, now you're trustworthy. You can steal whatever you want. But if you give the thing that you stole back to the person you accidentally stole it from, does that make it stealing still? I don't think so. I feel like if you were actually untrustworthy, you just wouldn't even mention it. You would just secretly keep the thing you stole. Right? Maybe because it was only low value. Okay, well, that's where you're fucking wrong there, kiddo. Because that item, it may not have been... Okay, I'll tell you what it is, all right? It is my wife's dry shampoo. Now, you may be saying to yourself, oh, well, that's not expensive. It's just dry shampoo. No way that's expensive. That's where you'd be fucking wrong as hell. That shit is crazy expensive. She buys like the craziest one. It is like the super high end, you cannot get a better one tier. She had it once at one of my friend's houses because my friend's wife uses it. And it's like fucking crazy expensive. And she used it and she was like, yo, this is good shit. So now she gets that one. Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's the RTX 4090 of shampoos. That's right. They're having an emergency at my family's winery because the internet's out. Spectrum is so dog shit. Yeah. It's like, I think it's like $60 for like a can of shampoo. Exactly. Mustache Man has no use for it. That's right. He could sell on the black market though. Okay, so evocation. This thing is using the orb right away. I don't know if I agree with this, but maybe it makes sense on the opener. And then, yeah, Arcane Blast into Missile. Surge into use item. Barrage, Touch of the Magi, Shifting Power. That's so fucking weird. But yeah, that's what you do. And then after the Shifting Power, so now you've used Touch, right? So you have 4 charges. So you do Arcane Blast into Barrage that uses your Nether Precision buff. Your second one. I'm going to zoom in here. So, wait, can I make this bigger? It's like kind of hard to see. What if I manually adjusted the size of this thing? Oh, that it didn't like that. Okay, it looks a little awkward, but it's actually easier to read, I think, now. It should actually have everything in here. Okay, slightly better. These buffs are being cut off on the right side, but is what is. So, yeah, so Evocation, Orb, Blast. We're going to have a missiles from the Evocation, so we send that missiles here into Arcane Surge, Barrage, Touch of the Magi. Touch of the Magi is going to have this Barrage get hit. It has another Precision. It's got 8 stacks of Arcane Harmony. We've got Arcane Debilitation on the target. 4 Arcane Charges, 2 stacks of Big Brain. It's good shit. Okay, hits, and then Shifting Power immediately. And then Arcane Blast into Barrage. The shifting is not a bug. This is a damage increase. No, this is actually a damage increase. I did suss this out. In fact, the sim was actually doing it slightly differently, and I changed it, and it actually ended up getting damage from it. It actually got more damage. So the line in there, I was sussed out by it too, but here's the line. So the line used to read Shifting Power if last GCD equals Barrage. So instead of doing it here, it used to do it after this Barrage. How is it getting damage? Well, so there's the CDR aspect, but it's also generating splinters, right? Because one Shifting Power is going to give us 8 splinters. But guess what? In Arcane Surge, we get double the splinters. So actually, it's not 8, it's 16. So that's 2 Splinter Storm procs from one Shifting Power. It's actually kind of fucking sick, if you think about it. But it used to say after the barrage, it used to do it right here instead of right here. So that was delaying it by 5 seconds. And it was actually a gain to move it. Like those 5 seconds did make a difference. Believe it or not. So yeah, anyways, Shifting Power right there. So Touch of the Magi and the Shifting Power into Arcane Blast Barrage. This is just using the second Nether Precision, by the way. So we're doing the Blast into Barrage here so that they both do that. And then right here, you do Orb again. So we're just spinning our Orb, right? This is our second Orb, but we did Shifting Power, and Orb's cooldown is 20. So the other Orb actually will be coming up soon. So Orb into Missile, into Blast, Blast, Barrage. So that's like the typical rotation, right? Orb, or like Missiles, Blast, Blast, Barrage. Missiles, Blast, Blast, Barrage. Missiles, Blast, Blast, Barrage. Right? Over and over and over again. Missiles, Blast, Blast, Barrage. As soon as you hit 2 arcane charges, by the way, I think you're canceling this missile. Wait, is it doing that? Hold on, let me just double check. Is it doing it as soon as it cancels? Where's my cancel? Okay, yeah, arcane missiles if active, enemies less than 5 bluff. So this is something I've figured out. It's something we were doing before, but I was re-implementing it and it turned out to be a gain. So yeah, if we have clear casting up, another precision's down, and we have less than 4 arcane charges, then we missiles. And we interrupt that missiles if the GCD remains. So like we have, or if no GCD remains. So basically if we're done with the GCD, we can interrupt it. So long as nether precision is up and we don't have arcane attunement up. Yeah, so basically we're interrupting this as soon as the GCD happens. Literally, we're canceling our missile as soon as the GCD happens. Regardless of arcane charges, actually. Which is interesting. It's regardless of arcane charges. That's a DPS increase. Not with Aether, though. Right here. Buff Aether attunement up. See, you don't interrupt with Aether attunement up. In AoE, you actually do this a little bit differently. But for single target, it was telling us to just interrupt it as soon as possible. So yeah, basically it's missiles into blast, splash, barrage. You're interrupting your missile as soon as you begin the as soon as you're able to. And then so this is just kind of like our in between phase. And then we're going into Touch of the Magi here. So it's how far does it stand? I think it's like 20 yards as a default. Hold on. Fight late, interact, profile, position back. No, it's like over 25 yards from the target. I don't really know how Simcraft does this, but I know that this is the modifier for it. Position back. So that should account for being closer. I think closer is better. TBH. But yeah, anyways, so once it gets done with that, it's just doing its blast, arcane barrage from missiles over and over and over again. And then right here, so Touch of the Magi comes up, right? So we obviously barrage into the Touch of the Magi. And then as soon as Touches the Magi is up, we do the same thing, right? Missiles into blast, barrage. But here's where it gets interesting, right? So the Touch of the Magi is up right here, but it actually gets kind of fucked. Because if you look, it uses its nether precision, and Bloodlust is down. It doesn't get a clear cast here. As you can see, there's no clear cast procs. So it's getting a bit unlucky here because it has 2 charges, 2 arcane charges, but it does not have missiles. So this is where things get a little fucking weird, right? So it's going to do a barrage. It's literally just going to spam barrages until it procs missiles. But if it has 2 charges, it'll just continuously spam barrage. If it has less than 2 charges or less than 1 charge, it'll do Arcane Explosion instead. So Arcane Explosion at 0 charges, that gives it 1 charge, and then it barrages. So basically, it's like if you have 0 charges, you do an Arcane Explosion. If you have 1 charge, then you barrage. This is so weird. Arcane's so counterintuitive. Yeah, to be fair, the difference between this and just spamming barrage without Arcane Explosion is like 0.1%. Okay, so if you don't like this, you think this is stupid, you can just spam barrage instead. Is that better or worse? I don't know. You tell me, is that better or worse? Is just spamming barrage better? Is it more correct to just spam your spender? Yes, I'm talking barrage at 0 charges. But it's one button. I feel like it's more degenerate though. In my opinion, spamming barrage over and over and over again is more degenerate than doing barrage into explosion into barrage. But it's a matter of opinion, right? In one case, it's doing spender, builder, spender. In another case, it's going spender, spender, spender. The reason I have it set up this way, 2 reasons. Number 1, it is a gain, okay? And it is outside of error. So we know it's a gain, all right? We can't say, oh, well, it's, it's within like 650 DPS, whatever. We don't know if it's better or not. No. We know this is better, okay? Number 2, it highlights the problem, the real problem, which is that Arcane Blast fucking sucks unless you have 4 charges. That's the problem, right? If I had it just spam barrage, then it could be misconstrued as the problem is that barrage is too good. But the real problem here is just that our builders suck so bad that we just don't want to press them. Right? And I think that doing Arcane Explosion is a good way to highlight how bad Arcane Blast is, because Arcane Explosion is outperforming Arcane Blast. Let that fucking sink in. That's fucking crazy, isn't it? Arcane Explosion is better than Arcane Blast for this. What the fuck is Arcane Blast's purpose? And why do they keep nerfing it? Like, it doesn't make sense. I get that they're just like, oh, Arcane's too strong, just give it nerfs, right? But like, why do you keep nerfing Blast? It's such a bad spell. Like, we should only ever cast this spell at 4 charges because it's so bad. But it's a builder! What the fuck, dude? You can't have a builder only be useful when you have 4 charges when you've already built. What the fuck is the point of a builder if it can't build? We have a builder that cannot build. Right? So we have to find other ways to build. So, we can proc Orb Barrage. That's how this is working. We can get, Spell Frost Teachings. We can get Intuition proc. There's a lot of different ways we can get charges without having to use a builder. We could fucking get a Clearcast proc and then use Clearcasting with high voltage. That's another way too. But using the builder, the one that's designed to get to 4 charges, is completely banned. You cannot do that. And that's because Arcane Blast has 2 really, really glaring issues. Number 1, it does less damage than a single fucking Arcane Missile. A single Arcane Missile in your channel will do more damage than an Arcane Blast at 0 charges. Okay, number 2, it fucking takes forever to cast at 0 charges, because the cast time is infinitely long. So in their search to make it so that we wouldn't spam Arcane Blast while we're in cooldowns, what they ended up doing inadvertently is making Arcane Blast just like a terrible fucking button that's only worth pressing if you have 4 charges. So then the question is, well, how the fuck do we get to 4 charges, right? Arcane Orb, High Voltage, Intuition proc, Spell Frost Teaching, Orb Barrage, so on and so forth, right? There's a lot of different ways, but Arcane Explosion also works. Sounds like something will change soon. Dude, they just nerfed Blast. I don't think they understand the problem. They just nerfed Blast. If they knew what the problem was, they would not be nerfing Blast. Okay? Because nerfing Blast is like a red flag that they don't know what the fuck they're doing with this spec. They don't understand it. There's no way you nerf Blast if you know how bad Blast is. Look, right here. Arcane Blast damage reduced by 5%. They don't get it. They're lost. They don't know what the fuck this spec even does. Like, they don't know how it's supposed to play. Here's the fucking red flag that that's true. So anyways, I don't know what's more correct, but to me, I think it makes more sense to have it do this stupid shit because it highlights how bad Blast is, and hopefully it begs the question, why the fuck aren't you blasting here? Why would you press Arcane Explosion over Blast? Well, yeah, that's a good question. Let me tell you why. Right? Anyways, But if we get a missile proc, so that it got like super unlucky here, you can tell because there's no clear casting procs, right? But it finally got a clear casting, so it does missiles into blast, blast, barrage. That's what it's supposed to be doing. And then orb into barrage. But yeah, anyways, so it does all this shit until shifting power comes up. It's gonna use shifting power as soon as it is available. So like literally, as soon as shifting power is available, press shifting power. And then you're gonna go straight into evocation, and then here's cooldowns again. So evocation into Arcane Surge. In this case, it's doing a missiles barrage, but really it's just about prepping the missiles for the Touch of the Magi. So Arcane Surge into missiles, we barrage into touch, and then we finish off with a blast barrage. Now in this case, notice, shifting power is actually before the Arcane Surge. Notice this? Remember how before we talked about how shifting power, it's really nice in Arcane Surge because you get double the splinters? Well, as it turns out, it's actually a damage gain for it to be here. So I think what's actually happening, like the real reason why it was a gain to have it happen earlier here, is so that for the rest of the fight, it's happening kind of like outside of the cooldowns. I think it's like a bit counterintuitive because you're doing it inside of cooldowns here, but actually it's not best to use it in your cooldowns. It's just best to press it pretty much on cooldown. In fact, you don't even want to look at your cooldowns at all. You just want to send shifting power as soon as it's available every single time after you press the first one. So this shifting power literally gets pressed just on cooldown. There's no other consideration for it. But I just wanted to point this out because I find this interesting. Send it on the pole? No. You don't want to send it on the pole. You need to use it. You need to use it when cooldowns are on cooldown. So that's why it has to use it here after you press your cooldowns, right? It's got to go through all the cooldowns first, and then it's going to use it. It's just using it right away, though, saves you time because then you can use it before this set of cooldowns instead of having it right after the cooldowns. And it means you can go into those cooldowns sooner. So it kind of makes sense if you think about it. But anyways, so yeah, this allows us to use our cooldown sooner, right? Because we just use shifting power. So now we go into cooldowns. So evocation into surge. Touch the Magi, yada yada. We do the missiles into blast blast barrage combo over and over and over again. 24 seconds of CDR before a second urge. Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. It does make our cooldowns a little weird, which I'll show you in just a little bit, but it seems to kind of make sense. But anyway, so we continue with missiles into blast blast barrage, and we will have a surplus of clear casting here, as you can see. So we're on the surplus, and then now Touch of the Magi comes up, and we're going to spin through that surplus here. And notice how it isn't doing the weird degen shit right now? The reason why is because it has clear casting. The only reason why it does that weird degen shit is if it has 0 clear casting, right? If you've got no clear casting, it's got to figure out a different way for it to work. Because you either have clear casting or you have charges, but if you run out, then you're in kind of a weird situation. Now, right here, this is where things get weird, right? The reason why this is happening, by the way, the reason why there's so many barrages in a row right here is because you get intuition proc, right? So it barrages here at 4 charges. And then right here, it has another barrage that happens right away because it gets a charge. And I think it procs again, and then it gets... And this is with intuition, and it uses it again. But then now it's into weirdness again. And then evocation comes out here into surge, into missiles, blast barrage, touch of the Magi, missiles, blast, blast, barrage. Shifting power comes up, so it uses it right away. This one's in cooldowns, right? Blast, blast, barrage. Continue on with that. Touch of the Magi is back up, so we send that again. Another thing that's kind of nice about this too is, so Touch of the Magi is 45 seconds. Shifting power is reducing that by 12 seconds. So it's actually using them kind of almost back to back. Like there could be a scenario where you're able to get like 2 of those touches off during some sort of cooldowns. And then here it is going into weirdness again, right? We got some Arcane Explosions here. But that's just it being unlucky sometimes. Wait, why did Arcane Explosion here if it has... Oh, this isn't clear casting. This is Aether Attunement. Okay, yeah. That's why. But yeah, it's all about the clear casting procs. Clear casting is what really makes the biggest decisions about how you work this thing. How fast do we stack up our Mecha Gnome shit? We're at 5 stacks here. That's 20 seconds. That's not too long. What's orb in the prio? So Pat, it's going to use orb pretty much as highest priority, except for shifting power, if you don't have 4 arcane charges. Or sorry, if you have less than 3. So if you have 2, it will use it right away. Mechanome is the best race right now for Arcane. Yeah, at least in single target. Where I find the nerfs on Wowhead. So you go to Wowhead. Right? You scroll down. And it says it right here. Arcane nerfed. What stat prio? It's going crit over verse and then haste over mastery. New Ferric mount model? Wait, where's that? Oh, is that the owl? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, there's another owl. It looks pretty cool. What trinkets seem to work best? Well, I can actually sim that. Yeah, that's something I can sim. But right now, you definitely want the spyglass. I can tell you that. The spyglass is really fucking good. So it takes about 4 minutes for it to fully stack up. And you don't necessarily want to use it like as soon as it stacks up, because it's a really nice like int stat stick. So you kind of just want to have like your spyglass just on. You don't really want to use it until like the end of the fight. I think the best use for spyglass is the first, yeah, Pat, exactly. The first time you get Arcane Surge in Execute. So as soon as you're able to use Arcane Surge whenever the boss is like below 35%, I think you send it right there. And then you just continuously send it anytime it's up, if you have Surge at that point. But so what I want to show you next is how the damage profile looks, because I think this is actually really important to be aware of. So this is our damage profile. Check out how cool this is, dude. We've got these huge fucking peaks, right? So it's not exactly every minute. It's a little bit longer. So if you see here, our first peak is at about 15 seconds. And then we have another one here 70 seconds later at 85 seconds. But look at this shit, dude. Look at how it just goes crazy in Execute. Bro, this is like the opposite of a downward trend emoji damage profile. This is a great damage profile. You fucking love to see a profile like this. As someone in the past who like looked at comp stuff for like you know, like super high in rating, like seeing this makes me excited as fuck, because I'm like, yo, this is a good damage profile. Like if you can have a couple people with a damage profile that looks like this, you're gonna be having some easy times. Like it's really good. Really, really good damage profile. Huge ass fucking peaks, dude. This is a 5-minute sim and it gets 5 peaks, right? So it's not quite a minute cooldown. But it's a little bit shorter, actually. Yeah, we actually get 2 peaks in Execute if you look here, right? And that's on 5 minutes. Obviously, it'll change if you go to a different time frame, but Al Hussein says, "Hey, I've always been a warrior main, but warrior looking awful. I'm looking to try and main mage." Yo, what's up? I think you accidentally put a period in there and it thought you posted a link, so the bot caught you, but awesome. Welcome to the stream. Isn't this a 6-minute sim? No, it's 5 minutes. But there is a variation on it, right? So like it's 240 to 360 because that's how it works. It's set to 5 minutes is what I should say. It's not actually 5 minutes. It's set to 5 minutes. The graph is just showing you what it would look like if it continued onwards, right? But yeah, 5 minutes would be right here. So you're right. It is showing up to, well, it's actually not technically 6 minutes. It's 2 seconds shorter, but yeah. And here's how the damage breaks down. So it's actually easier to see it here. So you can see Arcane Splinters is doing 29.6%. This is, by the way, with Verse. So like obviously Verse is making this go up a little bit. Hold on 1 second. Can I go through how it plays? Yeah, we just did that, but I can show you on live. It's probably better to do it there. Does Mastery affect Splinter? No, I don't think it does. It may, but it doesn't in a meaningful way. It's not meaningful. So the problem is that Mastery just sucks. Okay, this is going back to the Arcane Blast being a bad ability thing. I mean, how I keep harping about how Arcane Blast is so dog shit. A big part of that reason, by the way, is our Mastery just is bad now. And Mastery just kind of sucks. And there were cases where it was actually simming higher to send your barrage not even at 4 charges. Like, even in cooldowns. I mean, you saw it whenever I linked, or whenever I was going through the sim earlier. With Arcane Explosion in there. Yeah, it doesn't care. And the reason why it doesn't care is because Arcane Charges, they don't even really do much for Arcane Barrage in single target. Because the only thing they're really doing is making them cleave more. Which is pretty nice. But like in single target, it doesn't matter. You're sending it at 1 target, so it's not going to cleave. And you get half the value per Arcane Charge. Oh my god, that's so loud. You get half the value per Arcane Charge on Barrage versus Blast. Look at this. Arcane Charges increase the value of Blast by additional 9%. Arcane Barrage by 4.5%. It's buffing the dog shit ability that we don't really want to use at all. Except for when we're at 4 charges. But it says increases all other arcane damage by 15%. That could technically affect Splinters, but the value you're getting out of it, I feel like, is just less than Verse. I like Verse more. Makes me take less damage too. It's great. So yeah, the sim was doing this. It was doing Evocate into, I'm gonna use my trinket here. Orb into missiles, into Arcane Surge, into Barrage, Touch of the Magi, Shifting Power, into Blast, Barrage, Orb, missiles, Barrage, Orb, Blast, Barrage right here. And then it would do missiles into Blast, Blast, Barrage, missiles into Blast, Blast, Barrage, missiles into Barrage. Here I have an orb up, so I'll send the orb into Blast, Barrage, Touch of the Magi. We have missiles here, so we'll send that. 1 second. That was how many seconds in? My shifting power is 12 seconds out. I think I made a mistake here, but I need to just double check something. No, I think that's correct. By the way, Barrage is going to look higher here because this doesn't condense Splinter Storm. Whereas if we look over here at the sim, it is condensing it, see? So it's a bit different. I did make a mistake though. I should have sent another missiles. Wait, what does it do in that scenario? Actually, hold on. I need to check something. So I had a scenario where I used a missile and it didn't give me 4 charges, and then I was blast barraging. Also, I wasn't clipping my missiles. Maybe I should start doing that. Okay, yeah. So right here. No, should be right here. Okay, yeah. Missiles. You only blast at 2 charges, yeah? Yeah, missiles, blast, barrage. Is there a case where it does missiles into not having 4 charges, not even having 2 charges? Let's see. Missiles, blast, barrage. This is normal. This one's normal. Maybe it's like unlucky for that to happen in the first place. The reason it's doing 2 blasts in the blast into barrage is trying to get as much out of nether precision as possible. Blast is basically never worth casting unless you have 4 arcane charges and you have nether precision. That's why it uses blast. The conditions for blast are more like it's actually harder to meet the conditions to blast than it is to meet the conditions for barrage by like a lot. I don't think I would blast in that situation. I think if I have the 1 charge and I just did my missiles, I don't think I blast. I think I might Arcane Explosion, actually. Or just maybe Barrage. I think I Barrage, actually. Can I link this? Sure. Yeah, I think I just Sim Barrage in that case. Okay. I don't know why it's not linking properly right now. Is Arcane easier now? Yeah, it's just a bit of learning because I have Sims now, so I have to relearn. Hold on, there's a couple questions I missed. Spyglass is BIS because it gives you huge int. Yes. Aren't those arcane charges for PTR? It's going to be on, or is it going to be on beta too? This is all beta, and it should be on beta. Should all work for both. Should we be pressing Phoenix Flame with Flames Fury between Pyros and Hyperthermia windows, or spam Pyro? I don't know the answer to that one. I haven't sim fire yet. The APL for fire is not... I don't think it's in the same state as the arcane one. Let's see here. I haven't played mage in a bit. I've been thinking of playing as an alt character. How much is the rotation changing compared to Dragonflight? A lot, but in like fun ways. Except for the blasting. Except for the spamming barrage thing. That's very minor though. I think they'll figure that out and fix it, hopefully. Arcane is easier, yes. Believe it or not, this is the same rotation. The only thing about... Why is it not linking in the chat? Hold on. Maybe I have to do it. I'm trying to send my link through Chatterino. It's not working. We'll do it over here. Yeah, we've done Evoker stuff. Play Flame Shaper and go Ruby Embers and get the... oh, no, they moved it. They made it harder to get. Okay, maybe not anymore. Shit. You used to want to get Feed the Flames, but they put it out of your reach now. Dude, Evoker is just like a story of, like, how can we make this class worse? Everything about Evoker that they change every week is just making Evoker worse. You can play Orb. You can play Double Orb, yeah. It makes a very minimal difference. Like, the talents I'm running, basically, it doesn't really matter. It's very, very minimal. Here, I'll show you. So, this is the build it's using. I don't think it is using Double Orb. But that may not necessarily be right. It's just what I have it set to right now. This is what it's playing. So it has energy reconstitution, which basically does nothing. It has Energized Familiar, which is basically doing nothing. Obviously, it's going Bauble instead of Cleave, but those would swap in Cleave, right? But this setup right here is not the only way you can build it. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, and it doesn't really make too big of a difference. So here's the build, right? If I remove Energized Familiar for Orb, here's what that would look like. I think Frost might actually be good now, but we don't have the new build on the beta yet. So it's kind of annoying. Frost got like a huge rework. The talents for Frost are super duper duper different. So it's going to look something like... This is still not up to date for Arcane. For Frost, it's going to look something like this. Okay, ignore the fact that the arrows are doing like crazy person shit. See how the arrows are all like crazy? Ignore that. But yeah, you can build something kind of like this. So, yeah, Brain Freeze, Everlasting Frost, Winter's Blessing for sure. We probably pick up Piercing Cold. Definitely would get Ice Lance talents. Anything with Ice Lance we definitely want. Flurry 2 charges, Comet Storm, Icy Veins, Flash Freeze. I think we probably want Bone Chilling, and I think we go Splintering Cold here, but I'm not actually sure about that. I think that's mainly for Chain Reaction. We may skip out on that. Okay, let's say we go Frozen Touch. We'll go 1 into Splintering Cold. We'll go down into Thermal Void, Splitting Ice, Hailstones, Ray of Frost. We'll pick up the more damage in single target. This one's the Cleave talent, which is pretty cool. They buffed Glacial Spike, so we'll try that one out. Glacial Assault. We also need to make sure we have Freezing Winds. And I'm not sure about Slick Ice, but I think if you go Slick Ice, you probably also get Death's Chill. But we could also go a different route. We could go Cold Front. Or, hear me out, we go Splintering Ray for like some AoE shit, and we pick up Freezing Rain. Oh wait, we need to get Ice Collar though. Okay, we're gonna move 1 into Ice Collar, 1 out Splintering Cold. Oh shit, but then we want Coldest Snap. Okay, hold on. Fuck. Ah. There's too much I want, man. Let's drop Glacial Spike for it. I'm thinking like some Cleave, you know? But yeah, this tree's different. Oh, this isn't working still? Well, okay, hear me out. I hate how Slick Ice and Death's Chill are for Frostbolt damage, and also Fracture Frost. Because, like, as Spellslinger, I'm not pressing Frostbolt. Like, Frostbolt is, like, the least of my worries. I am Ice Lancing so much that, like, why would I pick Frostbolt shit? This one makes it take more damage, which is nice, but, like, I don't want to press Frostbolt. I don't want to press it. I want to only press the other shit. Does Mage or Evoker feel better? Mage, 100%. But yeah, as you can probably tell, like, some of this stuff is not going to be positioned where it is currently. They're going to shift this around. The arrows also just don't make sense. Like, Like this connection right here, showing over to here, this is fake, right? This isn't a real connection. It looks like in Always Sunny, Charlie Day like being crazy making the connections. That's what that reminds me of. I think the Evoker problems are really easily fixable because they're all completely Blizzard's design. They just made weird changes that were bad. They just need to not do those weird changes that are bad, and it will be fine. They just need to not do the dumb shit that they recently put in. Animosity change, bad. Firestorm, keep trying to make it work. Maybe we'll eventually play it, but we won't like it. Yeah, AUG is way better right now. It's actually hilarious. I'm going to do something weird here for that touch of the Magi. Aw, fuck, that was out of order. I made a slight error there. Not bad, though. Oh, the meter reset mid-combat. Yeah, the orbs are crazy. I made 2 mistakes during that. Getting warmer, though. Tree doesn't look like anything beta right now. Oh, are you talking about the frost tree? It's on PTR. It's not beta. It's 11.0 pre-patched PTR, but it will be beta because they're just rolling out changes there because that's the deadline that's sooner. This guy's got little candles. Look at them. Hey, look at these candles. What are these little guys? That's gotta be a trinket, right? Yeah, so the Arcane beta guide was made before we had Sims. I do have a couple things I need to update on it, but it is mostly correct. The main thing is like shifting power usage, the barrage weirdness, and stat values. Those 3 things. No, you do doo-doo mega DD mega doo-doo. You do the blasts. Those blasts do happen. But only after missiles, and you're only using it to consume nether precision. Oh, that was slightly too long. That's unfortunate. Oh, this is bad now. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, actually, no, this is good luck. Holy fuck. I got lucky there. Shifting power slightly late. This one has Aether attunement, so we full send it. I'm not sure if it's still true, but it was true before that it was worth to send that 3 charges instead of 4. Not sure if that's still the case. Oh, another thing too is I think you send evocation regardless of cooldowns. Dude, it's really a spectacle, this spec. I wish my damage meter wouldn't just randomly like shit out on me. It's kind of annoying. Oh, here we go. Touch the Magi back to back. Missiles. Oh, we're gonna actually hold this shifting power a little bit. This isn't what the sim does, but I think it's better. So right here, I would do surge into touch barrage, shifting power, into blast barrage. Oh, I got a proc, so I'm just gonna send that. And then we need an orb here. Orb again, send again, missiles, cancel missile, blast barrage, missiles. That was with the Aether attunement, so I didn't cancel it. Blast barrage, missiles, cancel, blast. Well, barrage here. That we had intuition, so it's fine that we did that. We're gonna send this with 4, touch of the magi, and then we have missiles again. I'm gonna blast barrage here, missiles. That was an Aether attunement, so I let fully go. Blast barrage. Oh, very end, I gotta reset. So yeah, I sent that right before I finished. It's very reactive. A lot of the decisions you're making are just like on the fly with this. If I don't get 2 charges, I'm not clipping the missiles. Holy fuck, what just happened to me? Okay, we're going fucking ham here. We just went Super Saiyan, dude. So we're in execute now. The sim doesn't actually have any considerations for execute, but I'm pretty sure you just send barrage, like, just more. Like, I think you may even just missile into barrage. Like, just to get another position up. Barrage. Missiles into barrage. I'm not sure, though. Obviously, you send orb whenever it's up. I don't know. Oh, I've had a bigger touch before. The biggest touch I've ever had was like 24 million, something like that. It was pretty crazy. Why you clip missiles? Because it's DPS gain. Never barrage to always barrage, baby. That's right. Ashay. Or Ask-Hay. Yeah, I think that's how it's doing it. Let me just double check. See, look. Oh, this was a semi-sub earlier for Pat, but I completely forgot that I had it running in the background. But as you can see, the difference between EF versus 2 orb talent, it's not, by the way, this isn't even playing around 2 orbs, so like, this is unoptimized. But the difference there is 0.3%, so like, who cares? That's so little. Like, it doesn't matter. Just fucking run double orb, dude. Energized familiar is dog shit. Technically it's ahead, but it's a very dog shit talent. Exactly. I think if you optimize the orbs in it, which I'm not going to do, but I think if you did, it would probably break even at the very least. But I'll wait for someone else to do that part. I'm not looking to get back into the APL today. I'll do little things, but I think it's mostly there. It's fun to let some of it be on the, like, in the middle of play, just decision-making shit. Yeah, action priority list, exactly. So I didn't really ever press Arcane Explosion there. I could have if I wanted to, but I didn't. I had a clearcast that whole time. That was kind of crazy. I had like a nice little stockpile of clearcasts. I think the weirdness that happens is only really before you... It's like at the start, because you're going to have no clearcasting, but then once you have clearcasting, you kind of build like a surplus, and then you kind of end up in a situation where it's like you just slowly roll them out. You don't have to worry about like ever doing weird shit because you just like have 3 clearcasts stockpiled. You can get unlucky, for sure. Probably getting 4 times the amount CC right now due to bugs. So they're fixing some. They're fixing some. They said specifically the clear casts that they're fixing are energy reconstitution and orb rush. Now, they could be fixing more of the bugs. I don't know. But what they said, no. They specifically called out energy reconstitution and orb rush. I'm not even running illuminated thoughts, by the way. This talent is apparently bugged right now. It's giving you negative clear casting. They specifically said that they're fixing this talent and this talent when it came to clear cast generation. Those two. Might be bugged in the next build. Yeah, I mean, it's bugged right now. It may be bugged because it's currently bugged, right? Not speccing into IT is giving you 20% more clear casting. I've heard that picking this talent does reduce your clear casting. But, I mean, okay, well, if they fix it, they can just change the number, right? I'm not going to speculate about this one. Again, the ones that they mentioned specifically in the post, they said they're fixing clear cast on energy reconstitution and orb rush. We can speculate all we want about other changes they could make based on bugs that are currently implemented, sure. But I'm going to go off of what they said, because until I see it in the patch notes, it could not happen, right? Who knows? Everyone said Arcane was going to get nerfed into the ground last patch. That didn't happen. Speculation will only get you so far. I agree that there are other bugs here. I'm just saying that, like, unless they put it in the note, I'm not going to take that as it's happening. Put it in the note if it's happening. Otherwise, it's not happening. That's my take. I do like this new trinket, though, where you become a little web. It's kind of funny. Wait, what the... Oh, I forgot to orb. That's right. I was like, wait, I'm forgetting something here. Oh, and then I didn't shifting power. Fuck! Oh, yeah, I just made a big error. It's okay, though. A big error is actually just like, probably like, I don't know, 1%. It's probably not too bad. Do I send error? Dude, okay, this happens a lot more in reality than it happens in the sim. The situation is you've got 0 charges, you've got 3 clear casting, you've got, and you missiles and you get 0 procs. Oh, you know why? You know why it's happening? Because I'm doing this based on the fucking sim for the patch, which isn't out yet. That's why this is happening. This exact situation is what this thing is fixing here. This is what is currently live. This is what it will be. I'm playing as if it was this, but it's actually this. And the chance to have 0 is much higher here than here. And yeah, it's more RNG. So I just need to wait for this patch to hit. I like the trinket that stuns you if you don't undo the buff. Frankly, that's a skill issue. Yeah, so like I'm expecting to have like 2 be like the highest one here, but I keep playing with the basically this is where I'm at right now, and I need to be here. Yeah, in the next patch, you should basically never get 0. That's why it keeps happening to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? But I forget that, like, it's not implemented yet. But this is what it will be like, yes. You pretty much should always get 1, 2, or 3. Sometimes you'll get 4, but you should pretty much always get at least 1. And it keeps happening to me where I get 0, and I'm like, what? You know? But that's just because the patch hasn't hit, and I keep forgetting that. How do I feel about tuning? It's really bad. Tuning's really fucking dog shit. But they haven't really done like a good tuning pass yet, so that's to be expected. It's beta after all. Yo, what the fuck? Look at this person's void form. They have no legs. Look at this. This is crazy. That's really cool. Dude, they look like they're just floating. Look at this. If they didn't have the little hooves sticking out, it would actually be... They'd actually just be like a floating apparition. What's my stat breakdown? Crit, big. Verse, big. Rest, small. So single target breakdown's hard because it keeps splitting the log up. It really likes to do that to me. But it's gonna be something like this. Yeah, we will be getting less CC procs. That is true. The question is how many less or how many fewer. What weak aura? It's just Luxos, but I've done some changes to it myself. But it's just a Luxos one. Those are good weak auras. Become Cocoon. I need to start closer so I don't need to inch in for that. It's so weird going into shifting power during your fucking touch of the Magi on the opener. Oh, I should have seen the second barrage there. Oops. Dude, I'm trying to like clip it right when it hits 2, but it's kind of hard sometimes. Oh, we have shifting power up. We gotta use that. See, it happened again. It's like a surprisingly common occurrence on the current patch. I think in execute we just send barrage like regardless of whatever else is going on. I wonder if we still send that in Touch of the Magi if we're not in Arcane Surge. Dude, that happened again. Fucking missiles, man. High voltage. High variance. Oh, I should have sent the bug thing first. God damn it. Oh well, we'll send it here. I did cancel that one, but it's because I wanted to get through that intuition proc there, so I think it made sense. We just need 2 charges and we're good. Hell yeah, we got them. I'm gonna send this missile before I go. I did interrupt the intuition, but I'm in execute, so maybe it's worth it. Oh, I should have totally missiled there first. Fuck. It's a lot of reaction gameplay. A lot of, like, do it last second. Ugh! Couldn't get it in. With lower haste, it's a bit harder. I mean, execute's like pog as fuck, though. You do so much damage. Yeah, during surge you get double. That's right. The question is, why is it then a DPS gain to just send it with no regard to your other cooldowns? Why is that a DPS gain? Over actually considering things. I don't know. I'm not sure why. But it says, simply send it. Simply send it is the best strategy. That's what the sim says. And I trust that. Please enable streamer plugin. Doesn't work, sorry. I wish it did. Doesn't work. The sim you're using is bugged. After missiles, it's casting 2 arcane blasts and then barraging, but the sim still thinks barrage has another precision. Yeah, that's how it works on live too. It's not bugged. It's literally mirroring how live works. Or not live, but beta. It's mirroring how beta works. That's exactly how beta works. If I have another precision buff, like so, and I cast 2 blasts, and I cue the barrage from this blast like so, guess what? They both get another precision. That's how it works. I wouldn't say the sim is out, but people have been working on it. Dude, my pants... Oh, never mind. They're not gone. I'm just a little mechanism. It's crazy with an ability with no travel time that happens still. Well, it doesn't matter about the travel time. What matters about... what matters is when it looks for what damage accumulators, crit values, int, whatever. Whenever it snapshots that information. These spells are going to look at that information on cast. Okay, so Barrage will look on cast at what you have. This is the same reason why Barrage would like benefit from like Radiant Spark or whatever. That one was on impact, but in some cases you could benefit from other shit on cast, even if you may not necessarily have it anymore by the time it hits. So like on cast with old Radiant Spark, it would look if you had the damage increase. It would not be on impact. So you could kind of do the same thing. That's the idea here. Basically, whenever you finish the cast of the spell is looking at what buffs it has present. Since the cast is being queued with an Arcane Blast, at the time it finishes, you're completing 2 spells at the same time, right? The Blast is finishing and the Barrage is finishing both at the same time. But the Barrage is looking at the current state of buffs, and you get basically double value out of it. This is why it plays this way. And why you want to play this way on live too. Because it's just basically snapshotting what was happening as the blast is finishing. Hopefully that makes sense. Not all spells work this way, by the way. There's variance between spells. So like, for instance, for fire, if I were to cast a fireball and combustion ended like right as I'm finishing my fireball, even if the travel time is after combustion, the fireball will always crit, right? Whereas for Phoenix Flame's an odd duck because it actually calculates that sort of stuff on impact, not on cast complete. So for Phoenix Flame, it's going to travel and then it's going to hit the target. And if combustion isn't up at that point, whenever it makes impact, it will not crit, guaranteed. So you actually have to be kind of careful with certain spells like that. Another example of one that's kind of odd is Meteor. Meteor actually looks on when the object spawns in the air, not on cast complete or impact. It's actually when the orb spawns above you. But for Frost, a lot of it's on impact because I mean it's shatter gameplay, right? So like it always just comes down to like how they implement the shit. Same for Evoker, Showering Star. If you have Showering Star up on the target whenever you complete your cast, even if the cast hits after the buff has expired. So like if I were to have Shattering Star up for 0.1 second and I complete an Eternity Surge, the Eternity Surge leaves my body, flies in the air, and by the time it hits the target, Shattering Star is no longer on the target. It will still benefit from Shattering Star. You have to know the rules for every spell to understand how the rotational stuff works, because it's very important, right? Because you can get double value essentially out of certain spells. This is, by the way, the reason why a hard cast Arcane Blast is actually better than an instant Arcane Blast, because you would think to yourself like, wait, isn't POM worth taking? Well, the problem with POM is it's actually, unless you use this outside of cooldowns, it can be a damage loss. Because if you have the Arcane Blast, you need to be able to queue an Arcane Blast into a barrage. So actually how you would play with Presence of Mind is you would use the first one, you would cancel Aura it, so you don't want the second blast. So it'd just be a single instant Arcane Blast into a hard cast Arcane Blast into an Arcane Barrage. So yeah, literally they do cancel auras in the sims for Arcane, for POM. But the idea with POM Presence of Mind Arcane Blasto is like, in theory, if you could like queue up a blast and do the Presence of Mind at the same time, you could also get value out of that one, right? So it could be like an Arcane Blast into Arcane Blast instead of like an Arcane Blast into Arcane Barrage. But I don't want to fuck with cancel auras. I'm just not going to mess with this talent. I think for Mythic Plus, I'd probably just do this. I may also drop Dematerialize for more orb damage. Maybe something like this. Dematerialize is worth like 2% though. Maybe not. Maybe we keep Dematerialize. This talent's worth like 0.3%. This talent's worth like 2%. I don't know how much this one's worth, but it's small. This one's worth like less than 1%. This one's negative damage. This one is negative damage. This one is worth like less than 1%. This one's worth 0%. A lot of these talents actually don't do anything like at all. It's kind of funny. Dematerialized damage seems bugged. I think it actually is bugged. I think I was told that. I don't remember exactly the specifics on it, but at some point I remember being told that there was something wrong with this talent. We're back. Oh, you know what we could do? We could determine the value of each talent individually. I have a way to do this. Let me find my script. 1 second. Because now I'm actually curious. If I run this build and I'll remove 2 talents, or I'll remove 1 talent. I'll remove 1 talent and I'll use the build as it is, and I'm just going to take that 1 talent and I'm going to move it around to the ones that I know like are questionable. And we'll just pop it around the questionable ones until we see, like, which one's the best one. Or how much they each give in single target versus AoE. That might be interesting to know. Okay, I think this is how we do it. It'd be spec talents. So it's going to look something like this. And it goes... Yeah, we can do a copy statement for it. Okay. Let's do that. We can't really afford to do Lay Drinker, but I can show you what that talent would do for us if you want to see. Because I can make impossible talent combinations with this tech. That's kind of like the cool superpower of doing it this way, is you can make impossible combinations of talents. Just to see like what the value of individual talents may be. Oh, did I accidentally just copy that over? Hold on one second. Copy. Let's turn off the sound in the background. It's too loud. We'll turn on the music though. Okay, so this is my current build. And what we need to do is we need to free up a talent. So what we're going to do is we're going to pluck this talent out. Dematerialize, or which one is it? Energize Familiar. Okay, so we're actually not going to remove this talent like in reality. But we are going to remove it in our little setup here. So we're going to say base -1. Okay. This is our base profile. It's going to be -1 talent. The reason why I'm having this be -1 talent is because I want to make sure that I know what the value is without that talent, so I can add in what it is after I add the talent back in. Make sense? So here we're going to make this Energize Familiar. We do need to format this though, so it uses underscores. I don't know if caps will fuck it up, so we're just going to make this lowercase just in case. But I'm going to tell it spec talents equal Energize Familiar :0. That basically zeroes out the Energize Familiar and creates our base profile -1, which is giving us basically this exact talent build minus Energize Familiar. So now what we can do is we can hop around giving it talents that we haven't tested out yet. So we're going to start with the cool shit. So Time Loop is our first contestant. So we'll do copy equals Time Loop. And we're going to go ahead and now that we have this already set up, we don't have to zero out Energize Familiar again, by the way, because we already have it zeroed here. So all we need to do is just put this one in here. I'm going to leave this plus equals 1 because we will have to use that format later on. But I'm just going to replace the text here. We'll put it lowercase just in case. I don't know if that actually matters, but it'll be time loop 1. I will copy this and then I've removed this line. So here's our time loop. Okay, so for the next one, we're doing the same thing, but this time we're zeroing out time loop first. And then we're going to add in a different talent instead. So instead of time loop, we're going to put in lay sight, because lay sight seems kind of interesting too. So we'll go ahead and give lay sight a chance here. We'll change this to :1. That tells it lay sight on. And of course, we're going to rename this one to lay sight. Okay, now we have our next example already set up. So now we just do this, paste it in here. So now we need to flip these. So lay sight is actually going to go up top where the 0 goes. And now we're going to add in another one. So in this case, we're going to add in lay drinker just on its own. Just on its own. Now this will be without lay sight, which technically you could do. Although it would probably not make sense to. But right now I'm only changing 1 talent. I'm not changing 2 talents, right? So that's kind of why I'm doing it like this. So we'll do lay drinker equals 1. Okay. And of course we're going to rename this. And now we can do our next one. So our next one is going to be concentration. Go and grab that here. So yeah, we'll name it just like so. And then we need to zero out lay drinker. And we need to add in concentration here. Okay. And was there anything else that we wanted to try in here? We did lay sight, we did lay drinker, we did concentration, we did time loop. We can add in some of these shitty ones. So we'll do like surging urge. I know this one's dog shit. I'm gonna do it anyways. Copy equals surging urge. Terrible talent, by the way. Oh, we forgot to add a 1 here. Yeah, so we'll do concentration 0 here. This goes up in the top slot. Surging urge goes in the bottom slot, and it becomes a 1. Okay, so we have a good starting point. Let's see it. What's fun about this is we can actually continue. We can actually make one for each individual one. I used to have a script that would automatically output this shit, but I don't know what happened to it, unfortunately. Surging Urge feels like the weirdest, dumbest talent. So, Lay Sight's a 4%er. Lay Drinker's a 3%er. Time Loop's a 1.8. Surging Urge is 1.8. That's way more than I thought it'd be. Holy fuck. Wait, 1.8 in single target? That's actually not bad. That's not bad at all. Hold on. We gotta assess some of the talents we're currently running then. I'm gonna do... I'm gonna do more here. We're gonna create our base one as a -2 now instead of -1. And I'm also gonna zero out... where's the other one? So I'm zeroing out Energized Familiar. I'm also going to get rid of Energy Reconstitution. And then I want to try these back in. So we're going to go down here. Zero out the Surging Urge. We'll add the Energized Familiar back in. It's plus equals slash. Okay, now let's do Energized Familiar. Or sorry, Energy Reconstitution. This one should be a 1. And this one's going to be a 0. And this one's back to being a 1. Is there anything else here? Okay, so we can do 1 in Prodigious Savant as well. Let's do Resonant Orbs, Charged Orb. I don't even know if the sim would even change with these, but I know it should with Resonant Orb. I'm not sure about Charged Orb. Oh. Just gonna grab both of these at the same time. So this one will be our charged orb.
Was the nerf a decent amount or did they overdo it in CL Happy Word Blizzard fashion?
Resonant orb will be 1. Yeah, so Constitution goes to 0. Resonant orb goes to 1. We'll call this Resonant Orbs. Oops, forgot the name. Here's our charged orb. Charged orb. Need to 0 out Resonant Orbs. And we need to add in charged orb. Okay. Then, yo, what's up, Mahalali? Welcome back, 19 months. Appreciate you. Was there something else? I think that's it. Oh, Prodigious Savant. That's the last one. This one can go up to 2. So we'll do it 1 and 2. Obviously, in the case of 2, it's not a fair comparison because in the other examples, we're only changing 1 talent, but I'm just curious, so I'm going to do it anyways. So we 0 out the charged orb. And we give it Prodigious Savant 1. And in this case, we can get rid of this line. We can just tell it Prodigious Savant 2. Oh, I do need to change the syntax here. Okay, so this goes away, this goes away. And we rename it. Okay. That should work. Super chat. Yo, what's up, Gator? Swap Harmony for Time Loop for both single target and AoE, please. Harmony for Time Loop. Okay. Let me finish this one first. But yeah, I'll do that. What about Presence of Mind, Illuminated Thoughts? Illuminated Thoughts is bugged, and Presence of Mind is a DPS loss because the APL doesn't play it right. So those are both not going to get us anywhere. Okay, Time Loop. Swap Harmony for Time Loop for both single target and AoE. Yeah, that'll be next sem. Let's see what we get here first. How do you get details to run on beta? Just download the alpha version. If you open up CurseForge, and then you let it forge your library, then you click Retail Beta, and then you go over to Details, you click Browse, or sorry, Browse and then Details, that in that order, and then Versions. You're just looking for one that says Alpha in the name. See this? Alpha.zip, that's the one you want. Release type is different, actually. Release type is different. There are 3 different ways you can do a release type. You can do a beta, an alpha, or a release. That has nothing to do with beta on WoW. Just for the record. Has nothing to do with it. Those are just its own way of telling you what it is. Dude. Prodigious Savant is dog shit. What the fuck? That's crazy. I have like no mastery though. Yeah, so the big gains here would be lay sight. That's a 4.9% increase. But you, unfortunately, you have to waste 2 points into Prodigious Savant to get there, so that's just not happening. Charged Orb, 3.5%. That's pretty fucking big, actually. So Charged Orb is actually beating out Surging Urge. It's beating out Concentration. It's beating out Energized Familiar. It's beating out Resonant Orbs. Charged Orb fucking owns, actually. I mean, I knew that. I always play it. Where's Energy Reconstitution? Wow, it's terrible. Okay, so yeah, we don't want that. I guess Energized Familiar is probably the best one here, or Surging Urge, actually. Surging Urge is slightly ahead of it. Yeah, we'll go Surging Urge instead. Oh, we should check out Dematerialize too. I think that one's like 2.3. Yeah, so the biggest value here is Lay Sight and Lay Drinker. Those two back to back is going to be 8.9%. So if we can get those two, that'd be great, but we can't. We can't, right? Because it's just out of reach. We can get Time Loop, though. So if we go Harmony into Time Loop, this is our quote-unquote best build currently, right? Although this could shift around some of the other stuff. But we're going to go with this. And I will run the sim in single target in AoE. Make sure we include the overrides. Okay, so base 2 is not quite... We don't want to replace this. Hold on. I need to make a note. We'll call this The War Within Arcane Talents Sim. Okay. Delete all this. Wait. This is the talent build we want. We actually don't want to delete this. We'll call this Time Loop. We'll put these talents in. Yep. This one. Okay, and then let's remove all this shit. Boom. Then let's do a copy equals harmony. And we'll do the swap. So this will be single target first. I don't think it's going to beat it out, but we can try it. Yeah, you do Arcane, but that's... I know that's just a very minor change, so I'm not going to bother with it. In most realistic scenarios, you're not going to use Bobble. You'd only use Bobble if it's a pure single target fight. Pure single target. Right? Yeah, Harmony just kicks Time Loop's ass. That's single target right there. In AoE, by the way, it's going to be worse, but we can do it. Just for shits and giggles. We don't know when the beta build's coming now. We have to wait. Yeah, see? It's even worse. Time loop bad. There. Happy? No problem. Appreciate the super chat. Okay, so back to where we were. So we were checking out talents. Last time we found, here's the results we found. Okay, so here are the results. Let's put this over here. And was there anything sussy? I think it's only dematerialized that we were still sussy about. We'll do Bobble too, just so I can prove it to you how low it is. Keep in mind, the difference between these is not the individual ones. Like in this example I'm showing, it's not like these shows like a big gain, right? But remember, this is doing -2 talents, so you'd have to add 2 in there. So like, it seems like a big gap with just the single talent, but just remember it's comparing it against the -2 with the +1. It's still missing a talent, right? So you'd really realistically want to grab 2 of these and add them in. We'll do base -3 this time. And we're going to do dematerialize. Uh, 5% nerf, roughly. This is AoE, by the way. This actually set up a funny situation because it is possible for me to have, in doing it this way, energy reconstitution without dematerialize, so I don't... That one's actually kind of bad. I need to fix that, actually. That's bad. Hold on. We gotta... Because that's not gonna make sense. Oh wait, we'll keep this one in, but we'll add both of these in down here. This will be both. I don't think it'll work unless we do that. How good is Orb Barrage? Well, the sim is... The APL is kind of playing around it, so removing that might just brick the sim. It's pretty fucking good, though. It's not as good as High Voltage, but it's pretty good. Oh, I wouldn't orb there, actually. I don't know if this is right, but I think you want to send the missile again. The sim is based again off of the new patch, which we don't have yet, so we're having to make some weird assumptions right now on live. I think I'm seeing it to recharges still. So this trinket is like super burst. So you use it, you have to stand still and you become a cocoon. And then once you come out, you have 14,000 more int and you have 2,800 of your other stats. All of them. So you have like a crazy buff for 20 seconds. It's pretty cool. Oh, I didn't shifting power. Oops. Do that right now. On the double barrage there. Oh, the intuition proc. I already used it. Fuck. I think I actually let it spire. Intuition proc like does not last long enough for what I want to set up for it. Because I want to set up a double nether precision pop on it. See, now my evocate's happening before my shifting power, which makes this awkward. Now I'm losing cooldown reduction. That's why it fucking gets damage from that shit, for sure. Okay, let's check. Okay, so an AoE, Charged Orb, big. Blade Drinker, big. Surging Urge, surprisingly big. 5.4%, that's not bad. That's better than these two talents combined. Energy, Reconstitution, Dematerialize. So Surging Urge, Charged Orb. Energize Familiar. Surging Urge, Charged Orb. Energize Familiar. Where's just Dematerialize? Oh, is it this one? Wait, did I do this wrong? Is this properly named? Hold on. Now it's not. Okay, 1 second. I gotta fix something. We gotta rerun this. This one right here should be dematerialize 1. I'm pretty sure dematerialize is worth it. It's okay. Like, all these talents are kind of like shit talents, to be honest with you. Okay, you know what? I think what it actually should be is if I don't get the charges, I think I just barrage right away. How much damage does just a normal barrage do? $100K. Plus it's got other shit it does. How much DPS are the talent points in Harmony and High Voltage worth? A lot. High Voltage is like 18% on its own. Harmony is worth like over 5%. It's pretty big. Is it worth to blast 2 times on 4 orb? Or use missiles instead of barrage? Starting to build cycle gun. I'm pretty new to Arcane. Wait, what? Is it worth to blast 2 times on 4? Hold on. You aren't asking the right question because you're not even considering nether precision. Nether precision is why we do the 2 blasts, by the way. So the scenario is this, right? We've got hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna fucking send this. Hopefully I get a missiles. Here it is. Okay, so here's the situation, right? So I've got missiles here, and I use missiles. That's giving me 2 stacks of nether precision here. So right now I'm at 2 charges and 2 nether precision. So what I want to do here is do 2 blasts because these blasts are going to benefit from the nether precision, and then the barrage and that blast both at the end, those both benefit from it. The way it's working is the sim is looking for 2 buffs. It's not just a 1. It's not just about charges. It's about nether precision as well. Dude, that would take so long to put points into every hero talent by max level. That's a lot. I'm not looking to do that. I could do that, but no. It's too time consuming. I've already done what I wanted to do with the talents. There's no world where you can have every talent. You could look at it like every talent and then remove them one by one, but the problem with doing it that way is all the talents are going to be over-representative because they have all of the other interactions with them. Yeah? So it's not a good way to do it. The best way to do it is doing the top gear one that's built into raid bots. But the problem is I can't seem to get it to work on Mimiron, which is like the testing site. Unless you mean the hero talents, which we already have maxed. Yeah, so I mean the basics of the rotation is the opener you're going to evocate first. Alright, I'm gonna use my trinket just to get it out of the way. But here I would do Arcane Surge into Orb, into missiles, barrage, shifting power here. Then I'm going to do a blast into a barrage. I'm going to orb. I'm going to do a missiles. I'm going to do a barrage, orb again, blast missile, or barrage. And then it's just missile into blast, blast, barrage. Unless I get a proc like intuition. That was why I did something there. If you have orb, you do it below 2. And then right here, I'm going to send this just so I have it ready. And now I can touch the Magi. And I don't think I would actually want to blast there, but I'm just going to anyways because I'm in touch. As soon as I get 2, I'll cancel the missile. And that was kind of unlucky. They were at the very end. You orb if you're below 2, you missiles otherwise, and then you do blast, blast, barrage. I'm going to send that barrage extra because it's... Oh, it just ticked above execute, but I was hoping it would tick down into execute. You send shifting power as soon as it's up. And then we're going to do the same thing here with an evocate. I'm going to barrage here an orb. I'm going to surge, get my another precision buff, and then blast barrage into a blast into barrage again. Missiles. Blast, blast, barrage. I'm going to send this here because it's in execute. Send the orb. I'm just barraging. So in execute, I change how I play a little bit, but that's not how the sim is doing it. The sim isn't actually looking for execute at all right now. I think that's probably wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. But I think in execute, you just send barrage without even another precision. I have to double check that. Oh, right here I would have barraged actually. But if you have the intuition, you just send it if you're not at 4 charges. If you have another precision up, that's how it does it. I have to double check again. I don't know it by memory yet, but okay, this is 5 targets, and yeah, charged orb is best. Surging urge is second best. And where's dematerialize? Wow, dematerialize is so bad, so bad. Why is it so bad? Why is it so bad? Why? Why is it so fucking bad? Okay, well, in AoE, I want Surging Urge. I want Charged Orb. And I guess Energize Familiar. Yep, so this is my AoE build. Okay, hold on. We gotta look at the APL again. We'll look at this one. So is it, where is it sending barrage? Where is it sending barrage? Okay, so it goes down this list. This, since we are playing Splintering Sorcery High Voltage, it's going to use SSHV as its rotation here after the opener. So it goes through the opener. And then it goes down here to this one, and it's shifting power above all else, or Arcane Orb if it's 2, 0, 1 charge, anything from 0 to 2, it'll use Arcane Orb. And then it's gonna missiles if we have clear casting and we don't have Nether Precision, or we have 1 stack of Nether Precision and the charge is Arcane Charge or less than 4. Oh, okay, so it's not using that second one then. So it would missile again. Okay, that's what I was doing before. And it does interrupt it as soon as the global is up. Unless we have no Nether Precision or we don't have our Aether Attunement. And then it does barrage if we have max charges and Nether Precision up. And clear casting is up. Or Arcane Orb is up. And time Arcane Blast, so if it just queue the Arcane Blast. Or if Touch of the Magi is ready. And another precision is up if we don't have Spark. or nether precision is up, or if we don't have spark. So if it doesn't have spark, it's not going to nether precision. It doesn't care for that if it doesn't have spark. But we will have spark, so this one is just nether precision. We can ignore this part. Or buff intuition is up. So if intuition is up, it just sends it. It doesn't care. Right? Because this is outside the parenthesis. So like if you look, if like any of this is true or intuition is up, which overrides everything. It only does arcane blast if we have 2 charges of nether precision, or we have 1 charge and the previous GCD was not arcane blast. We have 1. Okay, yeah. So it's not using at 1 charge. You would only do it with the 2. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then if clear casting is down, which is very rare, but if we don't have clear casting and we have 0 arcane charges, it does an arcane explosion. And other than that, it just sends barrage, like with 0 considerations. So the question is, how should we change this for execute? Because I think we could actually get more damage out of this thing. So we are going to go back and do a little change here. We're going to go back. We're going to copy these talents. I want to add it into my little notepad I have here. Okay, we'll save this. We'll keep the overrides. We're going to call this one base. The talents, I'm going to run my AoE talents on this, but it should be fairly similar to single target. Actually, I will do one swap here. No. Let's keep it this way so I can test AoE on it too. So yeah, we'll copy this. We'll paste this in here. This is the new talents it's running. We will go down here. Stats are all being set, so we're good there. We're going to do copy equals execute a bar. Okay, and then we're going to copy just this part. And what we want to do is we want to incentivize it. We want to incentivize it to use barrage whenever we're in execute. So what we need to do is create a case for it here, where it's prioritizing a barrage under different circumstances. So we may be able to add it to this line, or we may also just add a new line. But what I think I'm going to do here is add a second line above it. Actually, hold on. Would it be above missiles? I think it would be, actually. Let's say it's a priority over missiles. So we'll say Arcane Barrage if we need to find percent. So it's going to be health. I can find that here. SimC. Let's go to the README. Actually, let's go to the website. Where's the website? Wiki? No. Is it Wiki? Let's go to the main page. I think hunters have execute, so we'll go to hunter. Marksmanship. Here it is. Okay, profile. Health, percent. There it is. This is the line we want. Okay. So we're doing if target health percent is less than 35%. We want to throw out barrage at 4 charges, like regardless of anything, unless Touch of the Magi is coming up. So hold on, we got to add that Touch of the Magi consideration, because I think if Touch is coming up, then we actually do still care about this shit. So we're going to say if target health percent is 35 and we have 4 charges, which I can reduce this, but I'm going to set that at 4 first. And cooldown on Touch of the Magi is ready. We're going to make it so this happens if it's only if it's not ready. So if we have 4 charges and Touch of the Magi is not ready, then just send a barrage. Just like send it without precision. If you have 4 charges. This is our first try. We're going to nudge it down from here, but I'm just going to try this first just to see where we're at. This might be a damage loss. We'll see. Yeah, I don't remember stuff. I don't memorize that kind of thing. I just, if I need to look something up, I just find the example and copy paste it. Yeah, so I could force it, you're right, but I am going to do this with it only being 30% of the fight or 35% of the fight. Surprising. It's not too bad of a loss. Okay, so what we need to do now is change this. So let's see if we can find a gain here. If I force boss health to be executed, I think this will just... Well, no. Yeah, I didn't. No, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I should do that because it will actually make it more magnified. So it'll be easier to find out if it's a loss or a gain. Yeah, wiki. We need to go to target. Where is it? Raid events? Where is it? Coming heals. No, I don't think it's a raid event. I think it's under enemies. And here it is. Initial health percentage. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So we'll set this enemy to start at 35% health. Will this change anything if I put it here instead? We'll still give it this, or actually I should move it down one because these are essentially the same thing. It's just one is AoE, one single target. Yeah, let's see if this one is. Oh, you think I needed to find the enemy? Okay, we'll find out. It'll still be a loss, but we gotta like suss it out, you know? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, the variance on it's bigger though. Yeah, see it's starting at 35 and then it goes down. Yeah, so this is working. So now we need to just make it a gain. What if we told it greater than or equal to 3? Give it more barrage. Is it getting warmer or colder? It's mostly the same. There's like little tiny changes with shifting power. Okay, that's actually further, right? Yeah, that's further, so that's worse. Okay. So that was not good. We got to go back. So let's see. We'll still do max charge. It may honestly already be playing this way because it falls back on barrage anyways. So it may already be doing this. Okay, what if I just did... What if I got rid of this part? I moved it above missiles again, so if we have 4 charges, we just send. I'm trying to make it like prioritize getting charges and just sending as soon as it hits 4 to see if that's a gain. No. I think that was worse, actually. Yeah, because this was 3.6. The earlier one we did was 2.3, so yeah, that is moving further away from it. What if we put below missiles? I think it's just already playing this way. Because the fallback, the filler is Arcane Barrage anyways. So there may not even be a gain here. Because it's playing the same way in execute and outside, and it's just getting damage anyways. Yeah, okay, different approach. So what if we, instead of doing it this way, I'm just going to comment out this line. What if we said the Arcane Explosion tech is only happening if we have the enemy above 35% health? So it'll do more barrages if the enemy is in execute. Okay, so if buff arcane charge stack is less than 1, clear casting is down, and enemy's target health percentage is above 35%. So no more arcane explosion execute. Let's see. Depending on if this is lower or higher, I have an idea. 2 different ideas, so we have to see what it comes out as. This could be a clue. Okay, that's a slight gain. Okay, so it's saying that we don't want to use explosion execute. I was kind of hoping it'd be the opposite. Because then we could use explosion to gain more. But yeah, that is a gain. So in this sim, it's not using explosion at all. Because the target's starting at 35. Is there something else we can do? What if we did the same with the arcane blasting? What if we circumvented double precision use? So we'll say that this is only... So we'll say arcane blast if nether precision stack equals 2. Nether precision equals 1, and you didn't arcane blast before. So just stop blasting. And if okay, so we're gonna do another precision stack 2 and arcane charges. Let me make a little space here. Arcane charges is less than max. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Another precision, yeah, so do it if another precision stack is 2 and we don't have 4 arcane charges. I can remove this line because it's always below 35. I'll leave the rest of that in there. I was kind of hoping it'd be the opposite. Has been a common phrase today. Yeah. It would have been easier for my cook if it was the opposite. That's what I was hoping for. I was really hoping it would be the opposite because then I was going to cook more arcane explosions into the sim. Love you, hunk of a man. Thank you. Okay, no. It still likes blasting. I guess it's just good as can be, you know? There is one part, though, that I do want to introduce to the main sim, which is this. Let's remove all of this shit. And then let's put this one in. No more arcane explosion when the target is below 35. Only above 35. Adding something that low is risky. Well, they're not going to leave it this way. You don't understand the reason why. Is there's not, it's not for the 1% damage increase, okay? I'm making a statement with that. I'm trying to demonstrate how stupid it is that Arcane Blast is so bad. Because the alternative is even dumber. The alternative is just Spam Barrage. Okay? They're both dumb. But if the alternative is Spam Barrage, what's going to happen is if that sim gets to someone who works at Blizzard and they look at that, what they're going to do is they're going to knee-jerk reaction nerf Barrage, which is not the problem, right? Blast is the problem. Blast isn't good enough. So I don't want that to happen. So what I want them to do is see that it's using Explosion, be like, what the fuck? And then be like, wait, why is Explosion better than Blast? That doesn't make sense. And then maybe they'll come to the conclusion, oh, we should buff Blast. Instead of, we should nerf Explosion. But either way, it's, you know, if they nerf Explosion, fine, whatever. If they buff Blast, great. If they nerf Barrage and they leave Blast the way it is, that's the worst timeline. So I'm like social engineering this shit. But yeah, either way, it's degenerate and it will be changed no matter what. There's no way they're allowing us to just use our spender like this. It doesn't make sense, right? It's fucking stupid. The brush spam, by the way, is not like, it doesn't happen all the time. It's actually kind of rare. But basically the situation is if you end up like with no, you end up with no clear casting. That's the situation. Wow, you see at the end there, I just got like 3 procs in a row. That's fucking disgusting. It's interesting that even in execute, it's prioing this in blast. Arcane Barrage, if we have max charges and Nether Precision and buff clear casting up, or orb charges is greater than 0. Missiles, clear casting reacts. So if we're able to press it, Nether Precision is down. We don't have Nether Precision. Or we have 1 stack in Nether Precision and we don't have 4 arcane charges. See, that's interesting. If we do have 1 stack in Nether Precision, but we don't have 4 arcane charges, then we actually send this. So if the situation is 3 arcane charges, we just did the arcane blast, so now we used 1, so now we're at, or sorry, 2 arcane charges. We sent to arcane blast. We're now at 1 Nether Precision stack and 3 charges. So this would actually activate. So in that case, it would missile, because it would be a missile into a barrage. No, it'd be a missile into a blast barrage. Huh. This is the exact scenario. I'm going to use these both, though, because Touch of the Magi is about to end. Oh, is it considering when Touch of the Magi ends? That may be something else we should add to it. Yeah, we should maybe do that. Okay, what if we don't Touch of the Magi is right there, positions up. I think... Okay, we're going to do this. Let's try... copy equal. We need to add in something for it finishing off the touch of the Magi. I think we already do this on live, so let me just double check that. I'm really hoping we get a new build today. So I'm very bad. Spellslinger Arcane is just way good. Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be rough. Okay, so Touch of the Magi brush. Here it is. Missiles. Cooldown, Touch of the Magi remains. Debuff, Touch of the Magi up. Oh, here we go. Debuff, Touch of the Magi remains is a less than or equal to GCD max. How do we do travel time in there too? Is that a thing? Can I go over the opener? Yeah. Yeah. You pre-evocate. I'm using a trinket that has a cast time, so it's a little weird with my trinket, but you do a pre-evocate into my trinket use because I want to get it done before surge. I'm going to surge into orb, into one missile, and I'm going to barrage, Touch of the Magi, shifting power, into blast barrage. I'm going to orb, I'm going to missile. I have Aether Attunement, so I'm going to let this fully channel. Normally I would clip it though. Into double blast barrage. This one I'll clip. Orb and barrage again. Oh, I don't even have my fucking familiar out. Let me get him out. Here I'm going to do 2 blasts. Unless I get a proc. Okay, I didn't get a proc. So here I'm going to do 2 blasts into a barrage. We're going to orb here since we're at 2. We're going to do an Aether Attunement, barrage. To blast, blast, barrage. Missile into blast, blast, barrage. Missile to blast, blast, barrage. Orb here since I'm below 2 into Aether Attunement. Let fully channel to blast, blast, barrage. Missile. I have shifting power, so I need to use it right away. I'm gonna evocate here. My buff is about to end, so I need to go quick. Surge into. Oh, I fucking. It just fell off. Okay, whatever. We do a double barrage here because we have intuition. To orb, to blast, blast, barrage. Missile. To blast, blast, barrage. We have 0 charges, so I'll do an orb here into missile at fully channel because it's Aether Attunement. Into blast, blast, barrage. Missile. Cut it off here. To blast, blast, barrage. We're gonna missile again. I'm gonna cut it short. To barrage, into orb. Into, ooh, I got unlucky here. Okay, blast barrage, whatever. We got the Arcane Surge buff in. Missile into double blast here because I don't have 4. Into blast, blast, barrage. And here I'm going to touch the Magi. Missiles to blast, blast, barrage. Oh, we crit aired. Okay, it doesn't like the end of totem thing. You orb if you're at below 3 arcane charges. Period. End of story. Say +2 because I don't know what the travel time is. Maybe that'll make a difference. Arcane will get nerfed again. It's not a matter of when. Or sorry, it's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. It will get nerfed again. Yeah, so clipping missiles is a damage gain, but you only do it as soon as you get 2 charges. You only do it if you don't have Aether Attunement. Unless you're in AoE above 5 targets. 2.8 versus 2.7. Okay, that was actually worse. I like clipping missiles. I don't mind it. It's totally fine. But you clip it with the blast charge because you're going to have 2 nether precisions. So if you have 4 arcane charges or even 2 arcane charges and you have 2 nether precision procs, then you're going to do a blast into a blast barrage. That way you get 3 spells out of the nether precision instead of 2 spells. That's the cook. Here's how the opener sequence looks, by the way, in the sim. So it's going to go evocation. Oh, I don't think this is right, by the way. I think it actually should surge into the orb. But I haven't tested that. But anyway, so it does evocation into orb, into blast. Yeah, I'm not worried about consumables because, I mean, the new consumables are going to be better. That's not going to change how I play. I'm not concerned with like consumables, trinket, race to a certain extent. All I care about is just trying to suss out the rotation. I could just turn off consumables and it'd be the same shit. Yeah, so blast into, orb into blast, missiles. Does arcane surge into barrage, touch, barrage. So these are back to back because it has nether precision on both. If it has 4 charges and nether precision, it sends barrage. In this case, it used shifting power later though, which is weird. Normally it sends shifting power above this barrage. Hold on. Why is it doing that? What the fuck? Shifting power is the highest one here. That's so weird. Okay, well normally the shifting power is before this barrage and it would be a blast into barrage. But I guess in this exact sequence, something happened. I don't know what. That does delay it though. Yeah, so normally shifting power would be at 5 seconds. It's delayed here. Why the fuck is that happening? We gotta fix that. Oh, and the HTML? Okay. So the condition we're looking for is U. So why is U happening so late? Wait, rotation AoE? Why is it doing that one? Is this AoE? What the fuck's happening here? Why did it jump to AoE? Is the variable changing here? If enemies less than variable AoE target count. Okay, what's the AoE variable target count? The default is 2. Are there 2 targets? Huh? Why is it jumping to this? It's jumping back and forth to AoE rotation? What the fuck? See, I didn't build this part. I don't know why it's doing that. But here's the thing. AoE target count should be default 2. It goes up to 9 if you don't have Arcane Cleave. It goes to 5 if you have Arcane Cleave or you don't have, and you don't have Orb Barrage or you don't have Bombardment. But these are never true. So it should just be this one, default 2. But why is it doing that in single target? Report details 1. Number of bosses 1. So why is it thinking there's 2 targets? There's only 1 target. It's not doing cleave add, it's doing patchwork. Single target. Yeah. Let me send it again. Maybe that was just like a weird fucking hiccup or something. Yeah, it did it again here. Oh, wait. It's just this one. It's so weird. It's only happening right as it enters combat, right? Because this is pre-combat, and then it does CD opener, and then from CD opener it goes rotation AoE once, and then it goes CD opener, and then it goes into high voltage. What the fuck? Why is it going here? You have an Arcane Familiar, but it's not even a... It's just a buff. Like, you have like a little bird. There's no... It's not even like a... object. Like, there's no NPC. Maybe a trinket it's wearing is doing this? Hold on, let me check the trinkets. I actually haven't checked what trinkets it's wearing. Could be a weird trinket. This thing maybe, right? Carefully balance the egg's incubation while stationary. Suspend the egg's incubation state. Could that be it? That's super weird. I gotta pee. Yeah, I've not noticed this until today, actually. It might have been doing this before, too, and I just didn't know it. Oh, there is something I wanted to do, so I actually want to change that trinket to see if maybe... Maybe there's something weird going on with that trinket. Zero base pruning, call action list, rotation AoE if active enemies and is less than variable enemy count. Yes. Yes, but here's where I get confused by that. So yes, that's definitely what's tripping it. But here's where it doesn't make sense to me. If we go to... Where's my sim? Okay, yeah. So if we go to like I'm working off of all this, right? This is the same shit. The AoE target count should never be 1. Because right here, it's getting reset to 2. Maybe it's happening as it's resetting. Could that be happening? I don't know enough about Sims to know. But like... it's instant cast. Arcane Barrage is instant cast. That happens in pre-combat? Okay. Because it should never fall below 2. Right? Because it's only going to be either 2, or it's going to be 9, or it's going to be 5. At no point is it 1. It is only one of these 3 numbers. And these 2 don't even count because we're not even proccing them. This never happens. It's only going to be 2. But in single target, it's tripping it. So it's like, what the fuck? What's going on? What's happening? I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to turn off the trinkets. I do want to set up a trinket, though. That's probably easier if I just log in. Yeah, we can just zero out this trinket. See if that's the issue. It could be Arcane Familiar, but maybe that's how it's implemented in Sims. I mean, that's all I can think of. Full HTML report, APL, sample sequence. Oh, did that do it? Hold on. Nope, still there. What is this? Spell targets? Okay. Oh, wait. I'm not using that at all, actually. So I'm declaring a variable called AoE target count. I'm just force setting it to 2. I'm not actually looking here for active enemies. Let me see if it's below, though. So in AoE... Oh, what I could do is... Oh, right here I am using active enemies. Okay, so we're going to do this. Spell targets. Okay, we'll replace all these. Maybe that'll fix it, because even if it falls to this, it won't be true. Because it won't have enough active enemies. So wait, what's the difference between these two? Gotta give it an action. Wait, hold on. So it's not an if statement? Oh, it's looking at how many... Okay, shit. Okay, never mind. So it would just be the ability it's using, right? Okay, okay. So like in this case, rotational AoE. If Arcane Barrage dot active enemy or dot spell, where is it? Spell targets. This only goes up to 5. This is the one that's tripping it though. I think I can leave the others like this. I'll put the other ones back on active enemies. Because I actually don't know which spell to put it off of. Arcane's a little weird. Oh, this one can actually stay spell targets. Arcane Barrage. Spell targets, yeah. This one can also stay this way. It can just be off of Arcane Explosion. If Arcane Explosion dot spell targets is less than variable. Yeah. That should do the trick. Yeah, that's super weird. Maybe it's just a sim bug. Oh my god, dude, this is so loud. Do I have Simulation Craft enabled? I don't. Okay, what is the ID of this thing? Imperfect Ascendancy Serum. First, let's just run it on its own, because I don't want to do 2 changes before I move on. Action call, action list cannot parse expression from Arcane Barrage spell targets. Okay, so it does not like that. Did I make a typo? That was here. Maybe there isn't an Arcane Barrage for spell targets. Oh, is it spell targets dot Arcane Barrage? Is that how it's supposed to be? I've never used spell targets before, so I don't know the syntax. Gotcha. Okay, give it another go. No, it doesn't like that. I don't know if Arcane is set up for this, to be honest with you. I feel like they would have already had it set up. That one I think tripped on missiles, so we'll just change that one. No, wait, it didn't trip on missiles. AoE condition is backwards. Tell me more. Checking active enemies is oh, okay, hold on. That's weird because it's popping it in, it's popping it back out, but let's take a look. So I don't get why it's even popping into it though. Like, why would it even go to that thing? I guess, okay, so it's right here. Active enemies is greater than or equal to variable enemy count. So this one's correct. This one doesn't check at all though. Wait, hold on. There's two things wrong. Because this one's not even checking to see the variable AoE target count. Okay, wait. So, call action list. Okay. So it's going to be right here. Okay. Maybe it's a damage loss though. It could be a damage loss. I don't know. Maybe that barrage is good. This could have been how Porum set this up to barrage before everything else. It could actually be a good thing. I'm not sure. The only way to know is to put it head to head. Yeah, it's actually a really good thing. Okay, so the way this is set up is weird then. Again, I didn't set this up initially, but I guess the way Porum set this up before, he actually wanted that probably in there because that is a huge gain. So we actually like it to do that. That is super funky because it's dropping the AoE and it's popping back to single target. So that doesn't make sense. What we're gonna do instead of that is we're gonna find the exact like part and we're just gonna add it in. So we'll like clean it up a little bit so it makes sense. So the line that we need to move into the main rotation is, where is it? CD opener. Is this the right one? No, this is not the right one. We need before. This one. So it's this line right here, S. So this is what we need. So we're going to go back. We're going to put it the way it was. Actually, I'll leave this in here just so I can compare against it to make sure I did it right. So it's doing it. Where is it doing it? Here, S. This is between opener. It starts HV And it does it here. So it should be like, just gonna shove it in here. Okay. No. Okay, well, that's wrong priority then. Maybe it belongs here. It's after the blast. Might just leave it as is. Let someone else clean this shit up. I don't know enough about this to fucking try and clean up other people's work who know more about this shit than I do. We'll see. Maybe this fixes it. Yeah, no. Fuck this. We're going back. Something's funky. Porum wrote it. I'll let Porum fix it because he probably understands it better than I do. I think that conditionalist will mean AoE sims are broken. They were actually, yes. They were broken. I did fix them, but this is not the version where I fixed AoE. Because in my process of fixing AoE, I kind of broke single target. But I was really just testing, like, Mythic Plus stuff. But yes, it is broken. You're right. Whenever I was testing this before, AoE was completely broken. That makes sense. That is why my change broke single target. Yes. Yes. Oh, shit. Yes, you're so right. Holy fuck. Okay, that explains a lot. Damn, dude. It's funny when you get, like, code from someone else and you don't realize that there's, like, a small error like this and it just makes everything you're doing, like, not make sense. The joys of collaboration. Okay, I'll make a note to him about that. Yeah. So that should allow me to put my AoE in here and like have it not break everything. That'd be good. That'd be real good. I see why clipping that missile matters, because you can get in right at the end of that shifting power if you're fast enough. No, this should be a missile here. Okay. 5% nerf. Oh, the servers went down. Oh shit. Wait, new build? New build? Now, where I was playing, that was not nerfed. Yeah, maybe they just took him down. Thank you for the help, by the way, public. Imagine watching everyone get kicked off servers, Stormwind just for yourself. Yeah, servers are still down. Well, you know what? I was looking at taking a midday break anyways, because I need to do some shit. So, servers being down, maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's the universe telling me, yo, go do your shit that you need to get done. I'm going to take this as a sign. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to end the stream. I may or may not be streaming later tonight. I haven't decided. It depends on how I feel at 7 p.m., which is like an hour and a half from now. So if I'm feeling it, I'll probably kick the stream on again. If not, then I'll see y'all tomorrow. Either way, though, I'll be back again tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have a new build. If we have a new build, I'll definitely stream. So long as it's like functional. If it's not functional, I definitely won't. A lot of ifs and statements in what I just said. But anyways, that's it. That's it for today. Yep. Can you help with the forms or something in the future? You can ask me, the guy who invited your mage to the guild. Fuck yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. No. I want to talk about that. So, yeah, I've been on the Chinese forums. And I was looking at the Chinese theory crafting on Arcane to see if there's anything I missed. I haven't fully explored this yet, but I do have it open and translated. And I'm going to try to reach out to, what's his name again? Han Feng. I want to talk, if he speaks English, or maybe I can use like WeChat or something to translate it, but I want to like pick his brain a little bit to see if he's come to any conclusions we haven't. This is a different setup though. So I'm going to parse through this and see like what the current setup is. But yeah, thanks for offering. We'll see y'all again soon. I already have someone reaching out to him. Don't worry about that. Someone who knows him, so we're good there. I have an old connect from back when I was raiding World First who is Chinese. Broken Shun. You may know of him. He used to raid in Limit. Did a bunch of World First stuff. Yeah, so don't worry. I already got that covered, but I appreciate it. Anyways, that's it for today. All right, see y'all.